What level did you get this dead reject to?
It's only like level 4. But I'm not gonna be able to do anything for you if you're another, like, race.
Right.
Like, basically all the way up in fucking Eastern Kingdoms, just isolated.
What can what's shaman? It's troll, tauren. No, tauren's not shaman. It's orc.
I don't really know.
WoW classic shaman races. I think it's orc, troll, shaman. Or excuse me, orc, troll, tauren.
It's too far away.
Troll gets the haste buff.
Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready. Need more rage.
Axe specialization, blood fury, and hardness is the best. Troll PvH, berserking, and beast slaying. Obviously going
Yeah.
healer.
I'd say if you want to be shaman, just roll it whenever we're you know, not doing this maybe, or
Yeah, downtime.
because I still have to like basically get through 2 zones to even make it to where you're at.
I
It's
feel
pretty
like
much
it wouldn't be that bad for me to get to you. I prefer your area anyway until we can go to the Barrens.
I mean, there's the Zeppelin.
Yeah, I was just gonna Zeppelin over. I was gonna do the orc starting zone, and then essentially if I can get to level 5 in the orc starting zone, then I can just Zeppelin, and then we can do Tristfall together, or whatever it is.
Yeah, probably doable.
There's like a couple spiders on the main road from the Zeppelin to the undead starting zone. What I'll probably do is I'll get 5, raid my way to the undead starting zone, and then I'll do the undead starting zone before we leave up.
Yeah.
Ooh, Tim back there.
Need more rage. Not enough rage. I can't do that.
Unless it's underground.
Not ready yet.
It's up on that.
Need more rage.
I wish you could be an undead shaman, dude. Then I'd be like all about horde.
Huh.
Not enough rage.
And if I'm playing Horde, I'm playing Undead.
Yeah, same. If I'm playing horde, the only reason why I want to play horde, aside from undead, is shaman. So otherwise, I'd rather be playing alliance.
True, yeah.
Orc's not that bad.
Yeah, they're fine, I guess.
stones.
That ability is a pleasant.
Shotgun.
Rage.
I got like half a bar or half a level to till 20.
Rage.
You could probably go in at 19, right?
Yeah, it's not a huge deal. Especially if you're the tank, it's just like, alright, I'm tanking for you and we're taking this guy, or I'm not tanking for you. Like, got a little more leeway to put your own group together.
I wouldn't mind 100% verifying that I have my bars figured out before we commit to that, though.
Yeah, do what you gotta do.
Unless I just always am in defensive stance, in which case, whatever.
I would pretty much only use
I need to get
defensive
closer.
stance right now.
For dungeons, you mean?
Well, yeah, at this level, if you're gonna go in and tank DM, you definitely want to be using defensive stance.
You don't think there's much reason to stance right now?
Except for charge, basically. Like, charge in, and then immediately switch to defensive.
Maybe I'll just make a macro for...
Need more rage.
Classic warrior charge stance. Macro. Warrior tank. Slash macro. Yeah. Where's the charge? Charge. Okay. Paste. Save. Slide. Let's try it. It's a defensive stance. Oh, 10, 10, 10. It's kind of dirty. You have to hit it 3 times.
I can't do that yet.
If you
Not
want, I
ready
can
yet.
check what I do on my other character.
I can't do that yet. Not enough rage.
Yeah, if you have a
more
macro
rage.
already set up, I'll just copy paste it to Discord.
Yeah, can I leave you here for a second? You gonna be alright?
Yeah, I'm just gonna farm this thing. I'll let you know if
Alright.
anything gets pulled. If you just type in /macro, you should have it already saved. And viewable on all characters.
Not on classic. I gotta go to retail.
Oh.
I don't play a warrior over here.
with rage. That ability isn't ready yet.
I found another macro on Google, but now it's just 2 clicks.
Yeah, I think that's as low as you're gonna get it.
It's this one.
God, what the fuck is retail?
So, just picked up this moped.
Fucking retail. Take it forever to log in. There we go. I don't even know what I'm doing here. I literally
Here's
don't even
why
know what
I
I'm
don't
looking at.
double sleeve my
Oh
cards.
god.
Here's my modern Amulet Titan deck, and it's fully single sleeve just like all of my decks, even Legacy. The reason why I don't double sleeve is it's much easier to shuffle like a maniac when
Where
your
the
cards
fuck
are
is
single
anything
sleeve.
on this?
Sure, they might get damaged if I spill my coffee on my cards, but the answer to that problem is just don't spill coffee on your cards. It ain't that hard. And also, when you double sleeve your cards, the inner sleeves tend to get super dusty and it's really disgusting. I like having a clean deck in clean sleeves, so I change my sleeves often. Now I'm not gonna sit
Fucking
there
never
like
mind.
an idiot, double sleeving for hours when I could just
Sorry, I'm
change
rolling
my
that
sleeves
work.
in 5 minutes
Let me know
and
when you're
shuffle
logging back in.
like a pro master shuffler all the time. So please guys, don't follow this advice if you want to preserve your card. Here's why I don't double sleeve my cards. Here's my modern amulet fighting deck. It's fully single sleeve just like all of my
That's
decks.
my mage that I
even
made
Legacy.
like last
The
night or
reason
whatever.
why I don't double sleeve is it's much easier to shuffle like a maniac when your cards are single sleeve. Sure, they might get damaged if I spill my coffee on my cards, but the answer to that problem is just don't spill coffee on your cards.
Alright,
It ain't that
so
hard.
then that would
And also,
be-
when you double sleeve your cards, the inner sleeves tend to get super dusty and it's really disgusting. I like having a clean deck in clean sleeves,
Green
so I
reject?
change my sleeves often. And I'm not gonna
What?
sit there like an idiot
Maybe.
just double
'Cause
sleeving
you're-
for hours when I could
I
just
guess.
change my sleeves in 5 minutes and shuffle like a pro
Or what's
master
that, like-
shuffler all the time.
What's another
So
like
please,
work
guys,
thing?
don't
Dog reject?
Zug reject. Fucking no. Oh my god.
You make a back?
No, you can do whatever you're doing. Fucking retail WoW.
Oh, you're still trying to get out of it?
I accidentally reopened it.
Hell yeah.
Why is my shit full screen all of a sudden? So stupid.
Orc reject or green reject?
Let me log on to this warrior, see what's up. Wait, this guild still exists? There's no way.
Which one?
Fucking, Gooners.
No.
The last time anyone was online was like 4 months ago.
Hell yeah.
Alright, well, I'm fucking quitting this guild. Slash G quit right now. Alright, Gooners. I'm gonna leave your Discord too. And I'm done with you. Where's the Gooners Discord? Alright, I'm gonna leave this server. Goodbye.
If you choose me, white mana, our soldiers will be ever vigilant, their tokens great in number. Or you can pick me, green, overrun and trample over your opponents with ease. Also, I do pretty much everything white said they do, so there's that. What was that you said about doing all my things? I don't do everything you do, white. I just think we have a lot of areas that overlap. Oh, we overlap. Just in a few ways. I mean, I do like to draw cards. You can't be mad at a color for wanting to draw cards. But green also makes a lot of tokens these days, and that's supposed to be my thing. I make tokens because I am all about nature. Okay, but you also seem to be doing vigilance a lot lately. Can you stop stealing all our stuff? Blue, do I steal white stuff? I do not feel that is a fair claim. You always take green side. Okay, we'll ask black. Do I steal everybody's stuff? Now, don't ask. In life, the only thing that truly takes is death. Always good to have you here, black. If you choose me, white mana, our soldiers will be ever vigilant, their tokens great in number. Or you can pick me, green, overrun and trample over your opponents with ease. Also, I do pretty much everything white said they do, so there's that. What was that you said about doing all my things? I don't do everything you do, white. I just think we have a lot of areas that overlap. Oh, we overlap. Just in a few ways. I mean, I do like to draw cards. You can't be mad at a color for wanting to draw cards. But green also makes a lot of tokens these days, and that's supposed to be my thing. I make tokens because I am all about nature. Okay, but you also seem to be doing vigilance a lot lately. Can you stop stealing all our stuff? Blue, do I steal white stuff? I do not feel that is a fair claim. You always take green side. Okay, we'll ask black. Do I steal everybody's stuff? Now, don't ask. In life, the only thing that truly takes is death. Always good to have you here, black. If you choose me, white mana, our soldiers will be ever vigilant, their tokens great in number. Or you can pick me, green, overrun and trample over your opponents with ease. Also, I do pretty much everything white said they do, so there's that. What was that you said about doing all my things? I don't do everything you do, white. I just think we have a lot of areas that overlap. Oh, we overlap. Just in a few ways. I mean, I do like to draw cards. You can't be mad at a color for wanting to draw cards. But green also makes a lot of tokens these days, and that's supposed to be my thing. I make tokens because I am all about nature. Okay, but you also seem to be doing vigilance a lot lately. Can you stop stealing all our stuff? Blue, do I steal white stuff? I do not feel that is a fair claim. You always take green side. Okay, we'll ask black. Do I steal everybody's stuff? Now, don't ask. In life, the only thing that truly takes is death. If you choose me, white mana, our soldiers will be ever vigilant, their tokens great in number.
Thank you. Bye. A gift for you.
Right.
Spring sample north.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab this tin and then I'm gonna jump down to you.
Okay.
I can do that.
How do you take the sample?
Should have an item in your bag. Little vial.
You just be in the water?
Yeah, just get in the water near the waterfall.
There we go. You don't have food at the sea, do you?
No.
Not in town.
It's a ridiculous day in the world of Magic the Gathering. Wizards of the Coast has just revealed more cards from Duskmourn, House
A
of
gift for
Horror.
you.
Some are obscenely powerful, some are insanely goofy, and some are absolutely amazing. Magic. I am a wizard! History. I'm an old wizard! The magic historian. My bones hurt. Greetings! Owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles, my friends. I hope the day finds you well, because we have gathered for another installment of Mega Magic News. Today is all about Duskmourn, House of Horror. And if you have not heard the story yet or read it, you can check that story out over on my Fantasy Geographic channel. I have the entire thing there for you, including some interesting background information about the world too. There is a lot going on. And speaking of a lot going on, we have a wide array of spoilers to look at today, including one that to me is an absolute home run. Every once in a while,
Farewell.
Wizards puts all of the elements of a card together in such a way that it becomes magnifique. I absolutely can't wait to show you what we have in
You gonna
store.
steal my
So,
stuff?
let's do it.
It's in the
All right,
box.
my friends, we are starting off with something totally goofy. Ghost Vacuum. 1 mana for an artifact that says tap, exile target card from a graveyard. 6 in tap, sacrifice the Ghost Vacuum. Put each creature card exiled with Ghost Vacuum onto the battlefield under your control with a flying counter on it. Each of them is a 1/1 spirit in addition to its other types. Activate only as a sorcery. Now, to get it out of the way, I have to admit that I much prefer cards that fall inside of what I consider to be normal Magic the Gathering. This screams Ghostbusters, which makes sense with what Wizards is doing with all of the different 80s style movies, but if this was a card that said Spirit Vessel, Spirit Prison,
What?
something along those lines, and it showed some kind of actual arcane device that didn't look like an 80s toy, then that would feel more in the normal flavor of Magic. But putting that aside and evaluating this as a Ghostbusters style card, first of all, it totally fits the bill. Look at the artwork. You can see ghosts getting sucked into it. The maniacal look on this chick's face. Yeah, sucking up them ghosts, son. But from an actual mechanical standpoint, actually evaluating as a Ghostbusters card, it works really well. Exiling cards from the graveyard is like capturing the ghosts, right? And then when you actually go and pay 6 and sacrifice the Ghost Vacuum, to me, that's like the scene in Ghostbusters where that one guy comes along and is like, we're shutting you down. And he shuts down the actual like ghost storage system. And all of a sudden, all these ghosts tear out and they're flying all over the place. So them all coming back as 1/1 spirits with flying totally fits the flavor of a Ghostbuster scenario. And if you change this, like I said, from a vacuum into some kind of urn or wand or amulet of ghost seizing, then this could easily be a regular everyday Magic card that would 100% fit with the flavor of stuff from the past. Ultimately, I do like this design. I love cards that you snake cards out of your opponent's graveyards, especially when you're dealing with a set where there's a ton of cards that care about the graveyard, either resurrecting guys or you've got delirium effects, so they care about the different card types you have. So this doesn't just exile creatures. You're only going to get to get creatures back when you use the ultimate ability, but you can use this to hose your opponent's strategies.
Go turn that in real quick, just to get the next one.
Sucked it up into my vacuum. That feels goofy to say, but
I'm gonna
ultimately,
keep sending us farther probably on the beach, so
moving on. We've got
a little bit of
Grievous
walking.
Wound. This card, when I read it out, I went, what? It's 2 black and 3 for an enchantment aura. I feel like this should have been a curse. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you don't know, there are a series of enchantments that are called curses in Magic. A lot of them feature the same hapless looking dude.
Yo, there's a card preview for Dustmorn, the new Magic set. It's a black card, 3 colorless, 2 black.
Elune be with you.
So it's kind of
Asha
expensive, but
Vela,
it's
Goddess
enchantment
watch
aura.
over.
You enchant a player.
Go in peace.
Enchanted player can't gain life. Whenever enchanted player is dealt damage, they lose half their life rounded up.
With a terrible haircut. But ultimately, the idea is that you curse your opponent, and this
Interesting.
feels like a big curse. It's an enchant player. It does cost 5 mana, but enchanted player can't gain life, and whenever enchanted player is dealt damage, they lose half of their life rounded up. Every time. I'll ping you for one. By the way, you also lose half of your life rounded up. Like, this is insane to me. And also, awesome card design. The flavor text says, Vicky was so tired. The pain began to fade. You were so brave, said her grandmother's voice from somewhere far away. But it's time to rest now. This screams horror. The artwork with her laying there all curled up in the center of the frame with all these black smears of ichor around her, absolutely wild. If you
just
take
burned down
away
these
the
guys.
set of headphones that are up
They're
there, like
level
Walkman
10s,
headphones,
but
and maybe
we'll still get some
the
XP when we
shoes
turn
as
it in.
well, then you don't have anything that feels modern at all, and this could easily be original era Magic art. And honestly, you could leave the shoes. You could get away with the shoes. The headphones are the only thing that really tie it into the Dustmorn aesthetic of modern technology. But It's barely noticeable, and the overall flavor of this, a woman who's just laying there, dying of a terrible wound, and moving her even slightly just causes massive amounts of her, like, blood to just flow out. Her life is slipping away. Like, it's epic. The framing of the body, the not actually her grandmother telling her to let go and give in and all this kind of stuff, that's the vibe that it gives, and it's amazing. Honestly, actually, I'm surprised as well. The name Grievous Wound has never been used in Magic the Gathering before. This is an absolute home run in card game. The name, the flavor, the artwork, all of it, along with the mechanics, tie together in a tight little package. This is what I love about Magic the Gathering. Moving on, we got Hushwood Verge. Now, this is a cycle of lands. I'm not going to show you all
This is
of
yours.
them because they're all the same, just for different colors. So we're just going to use this one
gift
as
for
an
you.
example. So you're going to be able to get them for all 5 or maybe all 10 different color combinations, but they at least have the allied color ones in this set. They've spoiled those. It remains to be seen if they're going to do a full cycle of 10 with the enemy colors as well. But either way, all these lands come into play untapped,
A gift for
tap
you.
for one color, and if you happen to have the right lands for it, so in this case a forest or a plains, it also taps for another color. So it's a white-green land that'll give you green lands. And then if you just have a forest, it also taps for a white. So it's an interesting way to splash white into a deck if you want to, where this land's always going to be ready to produce green. It's always going to come in untapped. And if you have, let's say, a few cards in your deck that kicker for one white, you can put these in without really negatively impacting your deck, unless you have cards that care about how many forests you have, right? And I picked this one because I find the artwork to be the most interesting. The rest are really dark. This one has this doorway of hope, right? The flavor text says, here, the hauntwoods churn like a viper's nest, as monstrous creatures prowl hungrily towards the ghostly light. This is one of those scenarios where when you see it, you're going to go, oh, salvation! And then you flow towards the door and you realize, wait a minute, this is just toilet paper flowing out of this door, and this is a doom trap. And something just reaches through and grabs your head, right? So I like the beguiling nature of it, the illusion of safety, as well as the weird hangy balls that are around here as well. They've got this weird sort of like, when you brush against them, are they going to burst into gank on you? Like, it's just got this, hey, everything seems okay. Wait a minute, do those bushes have eyes in them? It's got that, at first blink, safety lies ahead, and then as you travel towards
more
horror,
rage.
it envelops you. So that's pretty sweet. After that, we've got Inquisitive Glimmer. Now, most of the stuff we're going to look at is rare and mythic rare, but there are a few cards outside that I want to talk about. This one being a room-esque style bonus card. 1 blue and 1 white for a 2/3 enchantment Fox Glimmer. And if you didn't know, the flavor text explained glimmers right here. It says, glimmers are physical manifestations of survivors' hope and courage. Their presence is one of the few things that can protect from Valgavon's malevolent influence. That's a cool idea. Manifestations of hope that can shield you against the horror, but as you lose faith while you travel through the house and you watch your friends get struck down and you realize you're never going to escape, your glimmer gets weaker and fades until it's non-existent. We get to see people in the actual Duskborn story who have lost their glimmer, lost their hope. And if you haven't checked it out already, I've done the entire story for Duskborn over on my Fantasy Geographic channel. So you can check it out there if you want to. Now, this card gives you a discount on your enchantments. They cost 1 less to cast, and it costs 1 less to unlock rooms. Interestingly enough, it says unlock costs you pay, not unlocking rooms. So if Wizards creates more abilities in the future that also say unlock, this could theoretically have more use. But it looks like white-blue is going to be the color that specializes in room magic. And I mean, it makes sense when it comes to enchantments. White is where you're going to find a heavy influence. The artwork shows a Fox Glimmer hanging out on these crazy warping chairs. It's got such a chill little vibe. Its crazy little tail shows that it looks like it leapt down, bounced up, and so it can get ahead of you to lead the way through the house. They can do that, but then it's got that long trail that you can follow like a ribbon of hope. Very cool. Then we've got Ley Line of Resonance. Red is getting some redonkulous stuff in this set.
Yeah, you could
2 red and 2 for an enchantment. If you don't know what the ley lines are already, basically they are cards that if you have them in your starting hand, you can actually start with them in play. So this one says that here, and then down here it says, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell that targets only a single creature you
Not ready
control,
yet.
copy that spell.
Yeah.
You may choose new targets. Now, I know what you guys are thinking, probably. Oh, the mice from Bloomborough are about to become an extra big nightmare. And you're right. This combined with the mice ability is absolutely crazy. Your bonus spells that you're casting to boost up your guys and get their Valiant triggers going off are also going to love this, right? Where it's just like, now there's more creatures to target. Well, not more creatures. There's more things to target the creatures with. The artwork just shows like a flaming hallway that at first glance you're like, "Hey, what's going on?" And then you see all the billowing smoke up at the top, and again, you've got a doorway that looks like hope and safety ahead, but you've got to get through all these noxious fumes. It's not really clear looking at this artwork how this would end up copying spells at all. It feels like this artwork was probably intended for something else, but there's no denying that it is very evocative artwork, right? And the ley lines are interesting cards. We're not getting all new ley lines. Like Ley Line of the Void, the one that just stops cards from going to the graveyard, the black one, is coming back once again. Surprise, surprise, because that one is a powerhouse that everybody loves. So I'm not surprised to see that. Now, moving on. We've got Meat Hook Massacre 2. Wizards has revisited the concept with essentially Meat Hook Massacre 2 is like the original Meat Hook Massacre times 2 in terms of casting. The original one cost 2 black and X.
What?
This one costs 4 black and double X. But it does not do the same thing.
Yeah.
The first Meat Hook Massacre said all creatures get
actually, no,
minus X
yeah.
minus X. Now this one says when it enters,
that's a
each
mistake.
player sacrifices X creatures. So you
Well,
have to spend at
the
least
name
6
Blaze
mana
at
to
the
get a
top
sack
of the-
going on. And at that point, it's 6 mana to make each player sack a creature. But where it gets really crazy is with these two abilities.
I almost
Whenever a
didn't
creature you
recognize
control
this in the
dies, you
artwork.
may pay 3 life. If you do, return that card under your control with a finality counter. And whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, they can pay 3 life. If they don't, it comes into play under your control with a finality counter. This totally feels like that one giant demon from the old Alara days. I can't specifically remember his name at this point, but he had the ability where your opponent had to pay or you were going to get their stuff. But this one on top of it lets you bring your guys back. Finality counters means they're not going to be in the graveyard again, but who cares? This is wonky. If you just do it to sack for 1, the creature you sack, you can pay 3 life and get it back. And if
That
your opponent
ability
doesn't
isn't
pay
ready
3
yet.
life, you get the creature they sack as
Not
well.
ready yet.
Clearly, Commander is gonna love this as well. Now, what remains to be seen is if this is more balanced for the standard environment. The first Meat Hook Massacre was absolutely bonkers, and it tore things up and ended up eating a ban. And right now, black is pretty dominant. I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of you who are sick of seeing a second turn 1/1 bat that lets you look at, I'm looking at your hand, taking your best card and smacking you with a life linker, right? So black is already on the scene and pretty mean. But this does cost 4 black bare minimum. 6 if you want. So will it unbalance standard? I don't know. The game is sped right up to the point where theoretically, depending on how things go, is it going to be fast enough? This might be one of those ones that at first glance feels like absolutely broken, but might not be too powerful. Sometimes matches do that. They kick you right in the stomach and you go, oh, what's going on? And then you actually see the card in play, you go, oh, okay, so I guess I overreacted to the power.
I can't do that.
This is one of those where I'm not 100% sure which direction it's going to go, but absolutely worthy, absolutely amazing from a flavor perspective. Look at this butcher. Look at the actual gigantic stitches in his back. Like what? Is there somebody else inside this skin? Is this one of the rippers? You've got all the body parts around him. You've got what looks like rib meat laying there in front of him like it's
It's too
rib
far
fest.
away.
There's this big light there. Is that supposed to represent some kind of moon? The little kind of shadowy parts of that. Is that a moth referencing Valgavoth? Like, I don't know. This is a dark and terrifying scene, and a card that could be insanely powerful. It is a legendary enchantment. I did forget to mention that. So you could only have one of these out. If you have multiple of these out, then my evaluation of it would be, yo, this is way too crazy. It's probably going to need to get banned. But they might be walking the line of just acceptable enough when it comes to Standard. We'll have to see. Standard is 3 years now, and the cards in it can lead to some absolute insanity, right? So, this one, I've got my eyes. Moving on, we've got Nico, Light of Hope. Why are you smiling like that in this House of Horrors? Honestly, this artwork feels to me like they just repurposed Call Time artwork. Even the blue in the background gives the vibe of Call Time, and it feels like they just kind of inserted some shadowy hands and stuff behind him. That's what they do. They take artwork that they created for previous sets that never got used, and they insert it in. Now, ultimately, just the fact that Nico's smiling isn't enough for me to say for sure that's what's going on. They just paint a weird little techno gadget on the hip and then use artwork they already have, right? So, 1 blue, 1 white, and 2 for a 3/4. When Nico enters, create 2 shard tokens. They're enchantments. 2 mana, sack it to scry 1 card. But where condition is down here. 2 and tap. Exile target non-legendary creature you control. Shards you control become copies of it until the beginning of the next end step. Return it to the battlefield under its owner's name at the beginning of the next end step. So you can turn those 2 shards into whatever creature you already have out who's not legendary. Plus, if that creature is somebody who has a come into play kind of trigger, then each time you exile and bring it back, you're gaining value there as well. And this ability references what's going on in the story, where Nico can actually trap beings. Ghosts, he can trap enemies in the shards, but also ends up using a shard to save Nashi from some wicker folk. So again, if you haven't checked out the story, that's a part of the story. And that kind of magic is actually really cool. The idea of being able to trap people inside of these shards, and apparently the ghosts of Duskmourn, they weren't really able to trap them in any other reasonable way according to the story, which does contradict things we've seen like the ghost vacuum, but it does make Nico seem more powerful with that ability to shard snare ghosts, right? So overall, 4 mana for a 3/4, it's alright. The fact that you're going to be able to use it to make multiple copies of the guy you already have out, that's what it is. Then we've got Overlord of the Flood Pits. This is crazy to me, right? These impending Avatar horrors are wild, and this is the kind of stuff Blue loves. So, 2 blue and 3 for a 5/3 with flying. It's got impending 4, and you can pay 2 blue and 1 to cast it as an enchantment. So it'll be an enchantment for 4 turns, then turn into a creature. Whenever it enters or attacks, draw 2 cards, then discard a card. So for 3 mana, you can put it out as an enchantment, which will trigger anything that cares about enchantments. You get to draw 2 cards, and then you pitch a card. And so for blue decks that just want to sit back ready to answer all your stuff, for control decks, this is amazing. It lets them sculpt out their hand a little earlier, right? Get down deeper into the deck, getting rid of something they don't need, and then it just sits there waiting to become a 5/3 that can then swing in the air, and each time it does, nets you 1 card up. You're going to draw 2 cards and pitch it. So even if your hand's empty, it's basically like, look at the top 2 cards of your deck. Pick the best one, put it in your hand, put the other one in your graveyard, right? Like, that is super strong for a blue. And the artwork is amazing. This is an absolutely horrific piece. Like, what is this on his chest? Are these like sewer grates? Does water flow forth from it? The fact that it's got these books floating around it, kind of like a kami from Kamigawa, but instead it has these ghastly hands. Like, do you find this somewhere in a flood-out library, where the hands just reach out of books that you've grabbed up? Like, this is really, really crazy flavor. And what is that in his back? Is that like a giant hook? Does he like pop out from the ceiling? Is he on a rope? I don't know, man. It does kind of feel half Eldrazi-ish with the crazy tentacle claws and stuff, right? But either way, really epic card. Then we've got the Swarm Weaver. 1 green, 1 black, and 2 for a 2/3. When it enters, create 2/1/1 black and green insect creature tokens with flying. And then it's got Delirium. As long as there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard, insects and spiders you control get +1/+1 and active. This is a fun little board that gives you some insect action, will boost up your spiders, boost up your insects, and it doesn't feel too out of control. It's 4 mana for a 2/3 that gives you 2/1 rust. So ultimately, on the power score, this doesn't feel too off the charts. But it is fun for anyone who loves scarecrows because it's a scarecrow. It's an artifact creature, which adds more usefulness to it. And it's just overall got some really funky flavor. Every time I look at it, though, I'm like, okay, so it's a giant tree folk, but it's got like a pineapple to it, and it's got a big beak with Seymour mouth. Who wants a kiss? But its eyes are in its mouth. Kiss
There's
my
another
eyes, right? Like it's just. It's so weird.
Yeah, we're looking
Although
for the pendant.
the skeleton skull way off on the other side there, that does look pretty evocative, right? So, I don't know. There's just something about its head that's
this
really
one
goofy to me.
No one's killed it. It's
So
gonna
after
be
that,
in
we've
a
got
couple
Turn
specific
Inside Out.
places.
This is the only common we're going to talk about because it feels uncommonly powerful. 1 red for an instant. Target creature gets +3/+0 until end of turn. When it dies this turn, manifest Dread.
Or no.
So you get to give +3 powered instant speed for
Somebody
1 red.
farming it.
And if the creature ends up dying, which it probably will, because you're going to play it in like mono red run, then you get to manifest another creature off of your deck, or not even, because you just look at the top 2 cards of your deck and put 1 face down. So if you have a land on top of your deck, instead of drawing it, now it's a 2/2 to add into the rush. So, I mean, with the level of power that decks like the Slick Shot deck, for example, this thing feels like it's super easy and just going to take over the place of one of the red spells that are already in the deck. It's just, the power level is undeniable. And the flavor.
Let's go get Murk Deep.
Is absolutely wild. I mean, look at what's going on. This person's body is being pulled open by magic. And then you've got all these crazy teeth inside the flesh that they basically get a gigantic chest mouth that they can use to gnash and tear you apart, right? But even more than that, if you look inside, you can see something else. So that's basically the manifestation of Dread. That's the extra creature being birthed from the end of this creature. It's such a cool representation of it just clawing its way out of their inside. That is real horror. And it doesn't hurt that this maniac has this huge grin on his face while this is happening. Your chest is being torn open, bro, and something is crawling out of you, okay? That's got a Aliens feel, right? Absolutely. Like, this doesn't look like that, but it has the same vibe of just this thing tearing out of you. But this guy's super happy about it, which makes it really, really unsettling, actually. So this is some really cool artwork and a really powerful comic. Now, Tyvar the Pummeler. I love Tyvar. 2 green and 1 for a 3/3 Elf Warrior. Tap another untapped creature you control. He gains indestructible until end of turn, and then you tap him. So remember, you can be attacking with him. He's already tapped, and you can use this ability. You can tap any creature you have that's untapped, and he will just be indestructible for the turn. If he's already tapped, it doesn't matter, right? Like, tapping him again does nothing. So there's no downside to that. And then on top of it, you've got this crazy overrun ability where for 2 green and 3, creatures you control get +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. So it's going to be a bare minimum of +3/+3 because Tyvar's 3/3. And if you have other big creatures out, like, this doesn't give trample, but who cares? This is awesome, right? Like, I'm a big fan of crazy greenness, and this is crazy greenness. And I like Tyvar a lot as a big beat boy brawler who just goes around laying waste to everybody. The flavor text says, they just keep coming and coming. Perfect for my morning workout. And that embodies the flavor that Tyvar carries throughout this story because he is super fearless. And I know he's wielding a baseball bat with like barbed wire and chains around it, but it's close enough to a stick that this just feels like normal everyday magic artwork, right? You've just got him facing off against an undead board. So it gets a big thumbs up for me from that regard. Overall, I like this. There's a lot tucked into this 3-mana package. And don't forget, he's an elf. So he can go into elf decks that can generate insane amounts of mana.
Solo is kind of hard.
Is it gonna fuck me over if I don't abandon it?
Good.
What's it do? Like spawn shit?
Yeah, it's an escort quest.
It failed anyway.
And just go, what's right? Like, this is a very exciting card. And then we've got Victor Valgavas Seneschal. I wish that this had somehow been included in the story, because this is not an element of the story at all. So he's 1 black, 1 white, and 1 for a 3/3 human warlock. He's got Eerie. Whenever an enchantment you control enters, and whenever you fully unlock a room, surveil 2 if this is the first time this ability has resolved this turn. If it's the second time, each opponent discards a card. If it's the third time, put a creature card from the graveyard on the battlefield under your control. So, just using, like, for example, Nico having 2 shard tokens not activate, but come into play, then you're going to get to surveil 2, and each opponent reaches a card. And then if you happen to play 1 more enchantment, you also get to resurrect a guy for free. There is a lot packed into this, and the artwork's awesome. I love the way that he's standing there in greeting. He's got like a little smile on his face. His eyes are just 2 glowing beacons, right, which would draw moths in. The blinding eyes and the crazy little headpiece that looks like moth wings really does tie him. I mean, actually, if you look at his robe too, they do evoke a moth nature too. The eyes on the shoulders and the overall wing feel. So it's definitely got the right flavor. And I like the fact that he is framed by this doorway into some kind of broken part of the house. You can see little thorns and things sticking out of it as well. So it's obviously a foresty area as well, right? Because you've got trees up at the top. Or are those cocoons? Oh, I think those are cocoons, actually. Ooh, okay. That's even more interesting. Right on. I didn't notice that the first time I looked at this. So Victor's really cool. And then we return to go. Oh, wait, hold on. There's one more. There's a room. Okay, so central elevator. Whoa, oh, don't worry. I'm still here. I'm over here. Okay, 1 blue and 3. When you unlock this room, search your library for a room card that doesn't have the same name as a room you control. Reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. And then promise me stairs. 1 blue and 2. At the beginning of your upkeep, surveil 1. You win the game if there are 8 or more different names among unlocked doors of rooms you control. I think it's a lot of fun when they create like new weird win cons based on new card types. And the idea that you've mastered a bunch of rooms of Duskmourn, what does that represent? Does that represent you winning because you become one with Duskmourn and now you can like command its power for your own? Or is it like considering that you've dominated enough rooms that you've actually defeated Valgavoth somehow and you win by escaping the house? Like, it's got multiple different options in that regard, and I'm cool with it. Ultimately, it is funky. What else I want you to notice about this is the most benign looking sort of artwork. We're dealing with a house of horrors, and I like that this leads to other rooms. Like you ultimately use this one right here to search for other rooms. So you can get in this elevator and then you end up, these lead to horrific rooms, where the promising stairs, it's like, where does this lead? Does it lead to another room, or does it lead to salvation? If you've been through enough rooms, if you've unlocked enough rooms, these promising stairs actually lead to your salvation. So that is some fun flavor overall, right? Like, these cards are definitely interesting. We have looked at everything we're gonna look at today. So, if you made it all the way through this video with me, let me know that you are a hardcore survivor.
Yeah, we gotta
down
kill him
in
and
the
then we'll
comments,
spawn more
alright?
deep.
A big shout out to my patrons,
I can't
for,
do that
you know what, and channel members for supporting my channel. You guys rule. I'm gonna do a live stream over on my live stream channel tonight. Feel free to come on by and hang out. We're gonna have a good time. And I'll mention one more time, over on my channel, Fantasy Geographic, you can check out the entire Duskmourn story and some extra information about Duskmourn as well, if you want to just know about the different peoples who live there and all that. I've got like 7 different Duskmourn videos for you to check out. Go and do that
more
now.
rage.
Alright, I'm out of here. I'm a ghost.
So recently,
enough
I
rage.
bought another Magic collection
I don't
from
have a
eBay.
target.
It was 20 pounds of Magic cards for $220, but all I ended up with was free chips and cookies, and I didn't actually even get the free chips and cookies. If you're confused, that's okay. Let's crack open this huge collection, and I'll explain along the way.
Out of range.
So, you can see this massive box here. This was a collection I got off eBay. Ended up being $220. It was $250, but you could make offers. I went for $200. They countered with $220. I was like, you know what? Let's just do it. Unfortunately, when the box showed up at my house, you can see it's like pretty beat up. There was actually a shipping label on it that I took off because I had like my name and address and stuff. But the label said they had to relabel the box because it was damaged. And yeah, you can definitely see on this box, it's like
Right on top of each
someone dropped this. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'll
Hopefully
follow the
not
other
too
one
many
and kill
cards
my
on the
peep.
inside were hurt. This collection should be interesting. So it's 20 pounds of cards. So it is a heavy box with many cards in it. The pictures, we'll look at the listing. The pictures, there were some good uncommons. So it wasn't completely pictures. There were some good like $3, $4, $5 uncommons. Didn't see a lot of rares in the pictures, but there were a lot of cards we couldn't see. There were deck boxes full of cards. So hopefully the high-end stuff was hiding out of sight. But yeah, this should be interesting. Hopefully we didn't get too destroyed. Oh boy, this box is really anyway, let's crack it open and see if we can at least get our money back. See if the cards are still in one piece. Alright, this box is too big to actually fit on screen. I'm gonna see. I don't have the best setup. Ooh, hit the camera. I don't have the best setup for doing long shots. So let's see if we can get this open, and then we'll unpack it. Oh god, there's so much tape. Let's see what's inside. Hopefully this is organized. Hey, okay. It's a bunch of little boxes. Hopefully you can see those. Tiny box. Okay, this is gonna be very interesting. Deck box. Let's get this. Whoa. Wow, there's cards just falling all over. Okay. Ooh. Wow, there are cards everywhere. Multi-colored.
You can turn in the professor thing.
Okay, so they packaged many of the cards,
I would
but
say
then
not do it
also
right
there's
now.
cards just. I don't know if you can see in here, like up here, there's just like loose cards everywhere that just like apparently got smashed open during shipping. I guess we're going through these first since they're already out. So the box is empty. There are somethings in the bottom here. Sleeves. All right, let's wait. Is this a Black Lotus? No, it's a sleeve. Well, okay, no Black Lotus yet. Let's get this out of the way. So let's see what we got. So here's the rundown of this collection. We have 2 Fat Pack boxes there. 3, 4, 5,
Well,
6 Fat Pack boxes. Several of these small boxes that are unlabeled. These
Started
little white
another
boxes.
escort.
3 deck boxes. 1, 2, and the orange one is 3. And
Yeah.
then a few of these like paper boxes, and then whatever this is. So that's what we have to go through, which is a lot of cards. I think we're gonna start with these loose cards. So I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of bulk here. I would be shocked if there was not a lot of bulk. Hopefully there's some good stuff among the bulk. I'm gonna move these Fat Pack boxes for now. All right, and let's start going through these cards. These are sleeves. I don't really use sleeves have almost no value to me. Let's go through this pile of loose stuff. Let's go through the loose stuff first. Let's see how we do. Let's see how we do. So,
That ability isn't ready yet.
like usual with these openings, if you see anything that is high value that I missed, definitely let me know in the comments. Because we have a lot of cards to go through. So a bunch of thriving packs. This looks like someone opened some jumpstart. Most of this looks like just bulk. Which is not surprising. Like I said, in the listing, there were definitely some high value uncommons. Not a lot of rares to be seen. So I'm expecting a decent amount of bulk, but hopefully there's also good stuff. I'm excited. I like all these little boxes. Little boxes are fun to go through at least. We'll get through these. I'm imagining these loose cards. Is either one worth anything? I don't think so. Although, you know what? I'm going to set it aside just because we know energy's coming back. So it's the kind of card that I could see increasing just because of energy. Is that a foil? I mean, it's not really worth anything. It is technically a foil, though. Phantom Warrior. I used to think this card was cool. I used to be a Phantom Warrior fan. I wonder why they never reprint Phantom Warrior. Alright, so bunch of random stuff, bunch of basic lands. There was a Reddit post a little while ago with someone asking how long would it take if they stop printing basic lands for basic lands to get expensive. I'm pretty sure the answer is they like hundreds of years. There's so many. Yeah, this is just all jank. Ooh, wait, who's this? Jonathan Sony?
No.
I don't even know who that is. Is this someone I should know? Winning $76,000, 1 PT top 8 from New Jersey. All right, cool, I guess.
Like a
yeah,
blue
this looks
bottle.
like. I mean, I guess this isn't a foil. All right. I mean, I am gonna try to set aside foils.
Oh yeah.
Foils are older. Foils actually have some value.
Yeah.
Once they started doing collector boosters, foils from collector booster sets are basically valueless because there's just so many of them. But foils from pre-collector booster sets actually can be worth a little bit. Even if, I mean, if they're playable, they can be worth a lot. But even if they're not like great, they can still be worth a few cents. And when it comes to
I clicked yours from earlier.
Okay. Did you get a quest from it?
Yeah.
Okay. Never mind then. So, yeah, I guess we want to do those crab chunks, we can do that.
Ready yet, not enough rage.
Making money, I'm gonna pull aside the Ether Hub still. When it comes to making money on a collection, all the little bits add up. So, not much out of that. Well, let's see what we get in this Cons of Turkey here. Oh, Phantasmal Bear! If you've been following the YouTube for a long time, you might remember Against the Odds, I want to say episode 3. So we're talking, I don't even know, we're closing on like 500 episodes now, but one of the first ever Against the Odds episodes was actually Modern Illusions. So I do have a soft spot for illusions, even though they're not worth much of anything. Is this a mono blue deck? This looks like all bulk. Oh god. Did we just buy 20 pounds of bulk? There's got to be something good in here, right? Look at all these 20 pounds. All right, that's a great little box. What about? I don't think that has any value. What about this? I see a rare in here at least. It's a Mirari Conjecture. Mirari Conjecture is a cool card. I do like Mirari Conjecture. Well, there's rare number 1, so it is possible to find rares in here. Mystical Archive. Lost in the Woods. Infamous. Wow, beat up. I blame FedEx. Look at. I bet that was from dropping the box. It is hard to damage a card like that. I think they actually did. Ooh, wait. These are all rares. Are these all rares? They're all rares. Okay, there are rares in here. Lost in the Woods. There was a infamous limited deck. Lost in the Woods. Whenever a creature attacks you or a squad you control, reveal the top of your library. If it's a forest, you essentially fog that creature, phase of it. You remove it from combat, and then you put the forest to the bottom. So there was this infamous draft deck where you draft a Lost in the Woods and play like 50 or 60 cards or something. So your opponent would mill out first and just play all forests and try to maul into the Lost in the Woods and trust that you'd never die. I think someone won with it once. Exava. That's in my Marchesa deck. Lich's Master. Nightmare, Undercity Plague, Undertaker, not really a rare.
I don't have a target.
A lot of people get confused by the Time Spiral symbol. Yeah, not a rare. Doothy Slayer. Demonic Rising. Curse of Misfortunes. Gotta play Curse deck again at some point. Warrior's Lesson. That's like, I need to be a rare. Ooh, Might of Alara. Awkwardly, so I just went on that speech about how old foils before collector boosters are worth something. That does not apply to Shards of Alara because they printed those. Ooh, Sprouting Tharex F&M promo. I don't think it's worth anything, but that's a cool card. I do like it. Ah, such a cool card. Yeah, it doesn't apply to Shards of Alara because they had those all foil packs for Shards of Alara. Ooh, Mythic. A horrible Mythic, but a Mythic. Council of Absolution. Soldier Token. Alright, so we got some bulk rares in here. Nothing exciting. But it's good to know that there are rares. Like, we will take any amount of rares. This is a good sign for the collection overall, right? That it's not just bulk. There are actual rares in this collection. And like I said, we know there's some good uncommons because we saw them in the listing, so we just gotta find them as we go through this. I think they'll ever bring Traps back. I wonder if Traps will ever make a return. I wonder whether they rank on the Storm scale. Alright, so we got a few rares. A bunch of balls. Alright, let's try this Vraska box. A real Vraska would be fine. Alright, empty sleeve. What do we get in the Vraska box? Oh boy. Just bulk, Lava Axe. Random commons, draft chat, nothing worthwhile. Like I said, if I miss something, let me know, but that does not look like much. Let's see. Let's try these little boxes. I'm curious about these boxes. I actually like these boxes. I will use these boxes. They're worth saving. They actually cost a couple bucks, so nice little bonus. They're not like sellable or anything, but nice little bonus. All right, what do we get here? More of the same. Oh boy. So, Cloudblazer. Smoke them if you got them. So far the collection looks a little bulky. I don't know, maybe it's picked through.
Yeah.
You know, full art. I pull out for full art
You wanna
lands
keep
still.
killing them,
like,
or
they're not
just
worth
go
anything, but I
back?
can play them in decks sometimes, so. Ooh, okay. Urza's Power Plant. That counts as a good uncommon. Expedition Map. That also counts as a good uncommon, or common. Alright, so there's some, and remember, our baseline for this collection is only $200. So even if we don't hit a lot of high-end stuff,
Need more
even
rage.
if we don't hit a lot of high-end stuff, getting $220 out of decent commons and uncommons, not unrealistic. Ooh, Storm. Maybe we
can't
just get all the
carry
meme
anymore.
cards. Maybe that's the value of this collection. Yes, Stormcrow. It is the meme collection. Double Stormcrow, Bugler Rats. Might not be worth much money, but meme value off the charts. So this just looks like essentially blue commons and uncommons. Random Mind Bomb. This card is so weird. This is the least blue card. That happened a lot in the early days, I guess, but like the color play was just so weird. But Mind Bomb, 1 blue mana, 3 damage to each player. All players may discard up to 3 cards from their hand. Each card a player discards prevents 1 of the damage. So it's like this weird Punisher burn effect. That's either a Lava Spike in blue or discard 3 in blue, but your opponent gets to control it. None of those things are blue in 2024. But in the early days, colors did whatever they wanted. I'm trying to do this quickly just because we have so many cards to go through. So like I said, if I do miss something, just let me know. Let's go through another one of these. So these I was hoping would be exciting, these little boxes, but instead it seems, is this all lands? No. There are a lot of lands, but not all lands. All right, so a bunch of basics. Yeah, this looks like mostly bulk though. So yeah, when I get a collection that's bulk heavy, I tend to try to pull out cards that I maybe normally wouldn't pull out that might be worth, 25 cents, 50 cents. When normally I might be like, whatever, we don't need those.
Inventory is full.
Just because you want to make your money back somehow. All right, we have one more of these boxes. I guess we might as well finish them up. And it looks like more blue chaff. Where's our rares? Wow, look at that card. I don't know if you can see how beat up that is. That is not even really a Magic card anymore, is it? Look at. It's like a tic-tac-toe board. You can play tic-tac-toe on it. You just put a X in here. Oh, up top. My Sharpie's apparently dead. Yes, that card is not going to be, I mean, it wouldn't have been worth anything anyway, because it's a jank common, but definitely not worth anything now. So if you're gonna buy collections, in your head you like to think, oh, you know, every time I buy one, I'm gonna increase in value a little bit. I'm gonna buy for $200, get $400 worth of value, you know, double up my money. That's what you like to think, but how it really works in practice is like, you'll get a bad collection, lose a few bucks, or maybe break even. Get a bad collection, maybe break even. Then you'll get a good collection and, like, you know, spend $200 and make $1,000, and that makes up for all the bad collections. So such is life in collection buying. I kind of want to wait on these deck boxes for the end, because that's what I'm most excited about. Oh boy, this is a big one. Let's go through this super full, please don't be just commons and uncommons. So this box, does it says multicolor. Let's see if the box is telling the truth. Is this actually a box of multicolor cards? I don't know how much to believe the labeling on these boxes. I wonder, maybe this is, so I tried to do as much research as I could on this collection. Like, seeing what else the seller was selling, it didn't seem like a Magic seller. That's one of the first things I look for. Like, is the person selling this collection actually someone who sells Magic all the time? Because if it's someone that constantly sells Magic, you know it's gonna be super picked through and all the good stuff's gonna be gone. This person, though, it seemed like they were just selling literally everything they owned. It was just, there were Magic cards, but there were just all these random household items. It was just all over the place. So it didn't seem like someone who was a Magic dealer, which gave me hope that maybe there would be good stuff hiding in the collection. But so far, I mean, we've gotten a few rares. Selfless Savior at least sees a little bit of play. Llanowar Visionary. I mean, there's playable cards. There's cards that I will use, like in a commander deck or whatever, but value-wise, I'm imagining we're kind of close to zero at the moment. All right, are these actually multicolor cards? Ooh, actually, yes, they are. Are they just commons and uncommons? Probably. All right, so a bunch of fuse cards. Miss Witch, Blister Coil Weird, Selesnya Guildmage. Nothing high value that I've seen so far. Looks like a lot of Return to Ravnica era. And Abzan Charm, I'll play that in Commander sometimes. But, there's just not much. Uncommons, there's only a few that are actually valuable. After we finish this box, we might go through one of the deck boxes just to see the suspense. So it's written on.
I am on.
Why did they write on it? Actually, that's one of my favorite parts of my collections. I mean, obviously you want to get your value back, but whenever I get a card that's like, someone made a proxy on it, or someone wrote on it, I like to save them and put them in decks, just because there's another one.
Greetings.
Why are they writing NL on, this one says NR. Is this like a secret code of some kind? We're gonna figure out who the murderer was. Is there really no Boros charms? We need a nice stack of Boros charms. Just a nice stack of like 10 Boros charms. There's just random old cards thrown in, although none of these cards have much value so far. Oh no. Oh no. Are we getting wrecked? Is this the loser collection that just does not have any value? Did we get got? Well, at least we got to the bugler rat noise. That's the win so far. Ooh, Winter's Night. Hey, Winter's Night. That's a rare. That is a rare. Whenever a snow-covered land is tapped for mana, it produces one additional mana of the same type and does not untap during its controller's next untap phase. I always wondered if this card could be worth playing. Like, is there a chance that this card could be worth it? Presumably your opponents won't have snow-covered lands, and you will. Not untapping your lands. I'm gonna move these bulk commons over. I'm just tossing all the bulk commons back into that big box that we got stuff in, and I will figure out what to do with them later. Let's try orange. All right, Magic Gods. If this collection's gonna have anything worthwhile, oh God, oh God, oh no. The deck boxes are just like everything else. Oh no. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh boy. Okay. So the deck boxes do not seem to be actual decks. They're just
More commons and uncommons,
Turtle
but
remains?
this time in deck boxes.
I mean, you're level 20 here if you want.
Wait, is there just like nothing? Well, we
goes
can look through a lot of
till-
uncommons.
Oh,
All right,
you
let's
probably just
try
hit
one of these
19, right?
boxes.
Yep.
Well, deck box number 1 betrayed us. What about Fat Pack box number 1? This one says lands. Is it literally? Well, it's not all basic lands. So I guess we gotta look through them. How about like a few
Alright,
fetch lands?
we
Just
going,
a fetch or
DM?
two. I mean, it's the right age. There's Zendikar
Yeah,
cards
let's
in here,
make
so
sure
there
we get all
could
the
be
quests.
Quicksand,
pretty
Holy
much.
Tridden Swamp, Turn Timber
Probably
Grove.
not out here, right?
Well, pull out Colony Garden. That one actually
nah.
sees play. Pull out the
Should
bounce
we-
lands.
Yes, Hearth.
Vivid lands
Hearth.
aren't worth anything anymore. I mean, boy, this seems like okay. Artifact lands, especially Great Furnace, does have value. Honestly, this might be the best, the most valuable card that we've pulled so far. Not a ton of value, but it's worth $1 or $2 probably. Come on, lands. How about we'll take one fetch. We don't want to be greedy.
I need to go grab a couple things.
What is it with these cards being
Gonna
written on? I'm so confused.
Make sure I get those quests from Stormwind, get
NL.
training.
It's the same thing. The writing on these cards makes me concerned too. That I don't know. What? Give me your. I want your theories. What is the theory? Why write those letters? Am I missing something? Oh, there's a full art land. Like here's another one. Same thing. NLM. 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 What could it mean? It's got. You wouldn't just do that, right? It's even different colors of Sharpies. It's like someone thought this through. I don't know why. I don't know what the reasoning is, but yeah, this is just nothingness. Nothingness into nothingness.
Ready to tank.
Wow. Oh boy. This might be the worst collection ever.
Maybe.
Well, there's a Gruul Turf. We have went through a lot of cards, and so far these cards are not. Oh boy. Vivid Meadow. Yeah, no fetches in there. Whew. You know what? Let's try this box. Ooh, okay. Relic of Progenitus. A bunch of empty sleeves with the magic symbol on them. All right, so Relic of Progenitus, that's actually a real card. That's a real card. Windburst Kites, that's a rare. Okay. All right, there's real cards. There's real cards in here. Elspeth Knight Errant. Okay, we're getting there. We finally found some non-commons. Honor of the Pure, Soul Warden, worth pulling out. Oh, is this actually a precon? They all have the same set symbol. What precon is this? 2014. I mean, we'll pull the Lingering Souls, Isolated Chapel, nice. Oh, this was, okay, I know what this is. This was, they printed a modern event deck. And the idea was you could buy this deck, and it was supposed to be like challenger decks for modern, essentially. And it was black-white tokens. And the idea was you would have a deck that you could play right out of the box. We'll pull Spectral Possessions, Lingering Souls, Path, Intangible Virtue. I don't know if it's worth it, but I'll pull it just in case. And the idea was, well, the Archangel. Pretty good land. I think this land's underrated in Commander. Death Touch and Lifelink is a nice combo. And the idea was you could buy it and play it straight out of the box. It wasn't fully powered, but as you can see, like, it had some dual lands. It didn't have fetches or shocks, but it was a pretty solid deck for being right out of the box. Kentucky. So apparently someone bought, we'll pull the Ghost Quarter. Apparently someone bought that. All right, so this is a little bit encouraging. We're actually getting rares. Okay, I'm feeling a little better now. It took us a while, but there was actually some value in there. Like, not anything super high value, but compared to what we were getting before, which was like stone nothingness, I will take it. Is Fortuner worth it? It does see some fringe sideboard play. You know what? We'll set it aside just in case. All right, so that is, well, that was the best box yet. The From the Vault box or whatever this is. That was actually a good comparatively to what else we've been getting. All right, let's try, what does this say? Land/artifact. Oh God, I don't know if I can take another box of basics. Let's focus on the art. Well, okay, it's not even true. So this looks like white commons and uncommons. It doesn't look like we're gonna, I'm becoming skeptical we're gonna hit anything too high end. I mean, it could still turn a corner. Yeah, Custody Squire. So this just looks like white.
King's honor, friend.
Essentially.
Light bless you.
Healing Solve.
Well met.
Alpha. It's wild to me that in the same cycle that you have Ancestral Recall, literally one of the strongest cards in the history of the game, Healing Salve is also in there. Well, walk down memory lane. Jabari's influence is such a. Why does this card not see any play?
Alright,
5
that's
mana,
5
white
DM
instant.
quests that we got.
Like only after combat, so post-combat main phase, I guess. Gain control of target non-artifact, non-black creature that attacked you this turn, and put a -1, -0 counter on it. I've always thought this card is like kind of a sleeper. Why does this not see any commander play? Like, doesn't it seem worth it? Like a white mind control effect that's not even an enchantment or something that gets blown up and just like straight up steals the creature. Like, I guess it's got a bunch of restrictions. Can't be a black creature, can't be an artifact creature, had to have attacked you, and you have to wait until, we'll pull the Pride Mate. People love their life gain decks. That's one of those cards that it doesn't see any competitive play, but it's such a casual. I feel like Sunbond is actually like a casual commander. Maybe it's been reprinted too much, but I remember that card actually having value at one point. Just because,
Someone's
like,
looking for a
life gain
Stalks
decks,
tank.
Sunlance, not even a Mana Tithe. Can you at least give us a Mana Tithe, Magic Gods, just for fun? All right, well, there goes the white cards. How many more of these? We have 4 more of these boxes. All right, so I think what we do, we're gonna do 1 more of these boxes, then we'll do a deck box, and then we will do the rest of these and do the last deck box at the end. Come on, where's all the rares from this person's collection? That's what. Is the Spectral Sailor, non-anime. Is Spectral Sailor worth anything? We'll have to check. Yeah, this just looks like more blue bulk. Is there any good blue bulk? So far, it does not look like it. So far, it is just. Well, so how's your day been, YouTube? What have you been up to? It's illusionary wall. It's not even real. Look at that. It's just floating there. It's just floating there up with the moon. Oh, well done, Mark Cool. Well done. Old Magic Art is the best. Oh, what a great game. That's a thing, like, Magic, I just love Magic so much that, yeah, like, so far we haven't had a lot of value out of this collection, but I'm still having a blast. Just, like, going through these cards, Mind Sculpt into the Void Distant Melody, Spell Pierce, boom, pull it. At least we got 1 card that's pullable out of this, box of bulk. All right, well, there goes that box. Which one should we do? This one's heavier. Let's save this one for last. This is where all the fetch lands are. That's where the Black Lotus is. What do we get in here?
See if I can farm for the, grind my engineering for those target dummies.
Free chip, is that on the card or the sleeve? Free chips
Hi,
or
you're a
cookies.
tall one.
It's on the, it is definitely on the
You
card.
have a great day. Can I help you?
And it's signed. What is this?
Off
Why
and
are
away.
there so many cards with writing on them? What does this even do? Asha's favorite. Enchanted creature has first strike and vigilance. See, I want to put this in a deck just because, you know what I got to do? I got to make a deck. I know there's this deck by, oh no. There's a deck that someone who buys collections made that is all the beat up cards. Like all the, all right, Watcher Sliver. So this is like the worst Sliver deck of all time. Pillage, I guess we'll pull it. Leeching Sliver. Pillage. But it was all like the super beat up, like heavy play cards. It would be kind of fun to make a deck that is, we'll pull out Ground Rift. If you ever want to commit a lot of crime, Ground Rift is a pretty good way to crime a ton. So far, we haven't seen any payoffs for committing a crime. Is that not a foil? We haven't seen any payoffs for committing a crime that are repeatable. I'm gonna pull the slivers just because people like slivers. Hey, it's a rare magnetic sliver. Rare, promo, and a bunch of sleeves. All right, well, that deck box was not super helpful. All right, this box labeled white. Although I don't know how much the labeling means on these anymore. I'm sort of over the labeling. It doesn't seem to actually always be true. In this case, it might be though. Opal Champion, also pretty beat up. Free chips and cookies. So far, this is the highlight of the collection for me. But I'm gonna build a deck. I always save the cards that have writing on them or like weird proxies people make, just because I think they're interesting. Making a commander deck with all of them is actually, that's what I gotta do. I just gotta put them all together and make a deck. Wow, this collection. Well, we still have that one last deck box, that's the Black Lotus deck box, right? That's the one where all of our troubles go away value-wise. I just gotta find out how we get the free chips and cookies. If we actually get free chips and cookies, then it might be worth it anyway, right? We just need $220 of free chips and cookies, and we actually came out ahead. We might be getting wrecked here. I think our plan is we're gonna do red box, artifact box, deck box with the black Lotus. Of course. So that's what we got left. We've almost went through 20 pounds of magic cards. Artifacts could have some value. There's lower rarity artifacts that are still valuable. So we got to keep a good eye out going through these artifacts, because this might be our chance. We already saw like a Relic of Progenitus. Some mana rocks have value, so there's a chance we can sneak some value out of this artifact box, hopefully. Oh god, these aren't artifacts. Fire Shrieker. Has Fire Shrieker been power cracked? Is it still the best way to double strike with an equipment? I don't think it's been directly power cracked. Burnish Heart's always worth pulling. It's not worth much because they reprinted it a ton of times. But I do play in quite a few commander decks. Lots of Clue Stones. Lore Seeker Stone. Edifice of Authority. Man, there's... These are some pretty bad artifacts.
If I can, should I bring
This
target
wasn't even
dummies?
the
Will they
artifact
help?
box. This is our... I don't even know. I don't even know anymore.
Good help.
Life Staff. Boom Pile. 9
Hopefully
ringed
we don't need
boat.
'em, but-
Sungrass. This is, if you ever hear eggs, this is where the term eggs came
Start
from.
advertising
This
for this
cycle
shit.
of artifacts back in Odyssey. So if you ever hear modern eggs before
Or
the
whatever
band, or
it was
like
for,
an eggs
honestly.
archetype,
More
that's where the
people
name
are on
comes
that
from.
level.
At least we get some history lessons. Yeah, I don't think what we've pulled so far is going to add up to $200. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's probably better than I'm thinking, but I feel like we've just spent an hour going through Spy Kit. Oh, I love Spy Kit. I just built a Commander Clash deck around Spy Kit. I don't think it's worth much, but it's so cool. Giving a creature the name of every non-legendary creature is just such a neat ability. It doesn't do a ton, but I feel like it's one of those cards that eventually something's gonna come along that makes it just like ridiculously busted. There's gotta be the right thing, like some name-based combo that turns into an all-star trusty machete. Heartgreaves bow, jangling automaton. Wow, we're getting down near the end. We still have the Black Lotus deck box though,
Enemies Dark Shore
which I'm
Quest for
sure won't
now.
actually have
Well,
a
you
Black
need
Lotus,
to,
but
we
it
can
could.
Go back later.
It could be anything.
If we
Could even be a
don't,
Black
though.
Lotus.
Yeah.
But it's probably more Bugler Rats.
Too.
Oh, Pips. Hey, Fire Shrieker. You know a collection's not going well when you get excited for Fire Shrieker. When you're like, yes! That's a win. Fire
Good for a little
Shrieker,
XP
we're doing
boost.
it.
But I don't
Alright. Well, this is the end
like
of,
questing
end
around
of
there
that
that
box. Jeweled Amulet. I think that's a rare, actually. What does this even do?
Light be with
Zero
you.
mana artifact.
Coming in
Pay
Storm
1,
Wave.
have it put a charge
Looking
counter
for
on
dead
it. Note
mines,
what
20
type
plus.
of mana we used to pay for this activation cost. Use this ability if there are no charge counters on it. Tap it, remove a charge counter from it. Add 1 mana of the type last used to put a charge counter on it. Play it as an instant. Okay. It's like a really weird bad mana rock. It is a free artifact though. Some decks just have uses for having a 0 mana artifact, but that one does not do much. I like that you have to note the last type of mana. I'm pretty sure that means like if you use a blue to pay for it to add the counter, then you only get blue. Or I wonder if it applies to like snow. Is it snow mana if you use a snow mana? Maybe. Well, all right, here we go. Our last hope for glory. Oh no, our last hope for glory, and it's half full of sleeves. Oh no, this might be the worst collection of all time. All right, where's our Black Lotus? So this deck box is
Yeah, I'm 20.
mostly sleeves, which I don't really have any use for, and this little pile of cards that most definitely should contain a Black Lotus. That's a foil. That's a rare, not a
That's
good
a
rare, but
mage.
it is a rare in large. Oh no. Oh
That's the taking
no.
staff.
Oh god. Rare. Archetype of Untamed. I don't know. Sylvan Messenger. Is that worth anything? people like elves. It could be played in an elf deck. Literal Fog. Lead the Stampede. Bestial Menace. Helmar Depths. Honored Hydra. Technically a rare. Oh, Emperor's Vanguard. I'm glad they powered up Exploring a little bit. My god, were there some bad Explore. Like, this card's so bad. The first trip to Ixalan was so bad, just in general. 4 mana, 4/3. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, Explore. Oh, one of the worst rares from a very powered down set. Tower Defense. If you ever want to do a butt fight deck, like Arcades, Tower Defense is a really good way to pour on some damage. And, well, okay, that's a rare. Not Squirrel Nest. That's a real card.
Or the Alliance.
Quicksand foil. Vastwood Zendikon. Llanowar Elves. I'm gonna pull the Llanowar Elves just because it's white bordered, and it's playable. Resounding Roar. Rare. Emrakul's Evangel. Late Art Calvary. Kinderer Catcher. Wood Elves, that's playable. Tormod's Crypt, that's kind of playable. Timberwatch Elves, that's a good elf. Plated Slagworm, that's a rare. That's a rare. Okay, back to Nature. Voyaging Satyr, Nature. Where's the Black Lotus? Invigorate, we'll pull it just in case. Black Lotus, Warp and Vigor. Actually, this card's a pretty good commander card. Wildest Dreams, Trollhide, Spider Umbra. Pull it just in case. Breeding Emissary, Sylvan Bounty, rare. Greenwell Liberator, and Deeper Champion, Eaten by Spiders, Leatherback Bailiff promo.
What can I do for
Entity and...
I can't do that. I got 3 gold in this too now, so it's not a huge loss.
I think they got us. I think they got us. So I'm gonna have to do the math and figure out what value we got. I'm pretty sure it's bad though. I'm pretty sure that we spent $220. At least it was free shipping. And I'm gonna say we got like, my god, $20 of value or something. Maybe it's a little, maybe $50, but like some not very good number. Really, all we got for $220 is free chips and cookies, and we didn't even get those. Just a promise of free chips and cookies. It is signed. You can see the signature there. I don't know how to contact that person and claim our prize, but I will say card-wise, value, probably the worst collection I've gotten in a long time. They got us. I'm gonna do the math and count this up, but this collection gonna go down as an all-timer, but not in the good way. One of the worst of all time. Ouch. All right. Future Seth here. You can tell by this coffee mug. Past Seth definitely did not have a coffee mug. You saw the video. It wasn't there.
Need help?
And I'm back for a super quick wrap-up. And honestly, there's not much to say about this one. The little wrap-up I gave at the end of the opening, it was basically cool. We spent $220. Technically, we opened around $70 of cards, but really, that's at retail prices. We're selling at buy list. A lot of these cards aren't in high demand. Really, we kind of got wrecked on this one. I think if you actually buy list these cards, it's going to be probably like 20 or 30 bucks or something like that. It's so bad that normally what I do with these collections is I open the collection and then I just ship all the cards off to Card Conduit. They do all the work and do all the selling for me, and I just get the money to buy the next collection. But these cards were so valueless that I'm not even sure it's worth sending them in. I just don't think I'm going to get many money out of them. So I think I'm probably just going to set them aside and wait till the next collection buy and add in the like handful of like semi-decent cards we got out of this in with that order. But if you want to sell your cards quick and easy the way I do, you should head over to cardconduit.com. You can have an order set up in a couple of clicks. You don't got to do any sorting or any of that stuff. Just safely package up your cards, ship them out, and in about a week, you're going to get a detailed report with the results of your order and some money in your PayPal account for your cards. It's super easy.
Do I have that?
And you can even get another 10% off if you go over to cardconduit.com/mtggoldfish. And of course, if you want to buy some sealed magic cards or singles or whatever, head over to cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. So anyway, that's our collection for today. Honestly, one of the biggest busts we'd ever had. I'm going to figure out a way, though, to get our free chips and cookies. I think that's the only way to break even on this one. I don't know who to get in contact with, but one way or another, I'm getting my free chips and cookies. That's the only way to make this $220 worth it. So anyway, everyone, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it, even though value-wise this collection was kind of a flop. I'll be back soon with another one. And if you want even more magic, make sure to check out the video where I cut a collection from someone who slid into my DMs, or maybe the Murders at Karlov Manor collector box opening.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Game Nights. The show is brought to you by Wizards of the Coast.
We have a really, really special episode for you today. In fact, the two guests that we have on this show are returning from the most popular episode of Game Nights ever.
Yeah, me and Josh.
Wouldn't we like to think so, Jimmy? Yeah. They are also, I should say, and you could probably guess who they are if you're familiar with our show. One of them is playing, let's just say, a very similar deck to the deck they played last time.
Yeah, absolutely. But before we get to the game, we got to talk about our sponsors. And the first place to talk about is cardkingdom.com/command. One of the things that we love about Card Kingdom is the ease of just being able to put a whole deck list in there or a bunch of cards at once. Select the versions you want, add them to your cart, and check it out. And boom, it's going to arrive on your doorstep in a single package. You're ready to shuffle up and play just like that.
Yeah, and of course, cardkingdom.com/command is a great place to go to get sealed product. And you might want to do that or think about it for March of the Machine, because the collector's boosters specifically have some special things going on. One of the new card types, or the new foiling types that they've got, are called Halo Foil. Foils have never looked like this before. The foiling process creates this sort of liquid, swirly feel. It really catches the